there, buddies. Welcome back to another Momo Joe Let's Play. So, yeah, I did a little bit of streaming on the Twitch, and I went ahead and edited down the 2-hour version to about a 30-minute little snippet, where basically I was chatting away with an old buddy of mine that we will basically call Akuma Matata. I actually know him in person, but, you know, he was bringing up some old memories, and we were just having a good old time while I was playing some Star Wars and shooting down, you know, some rebels and some Imperials, you know, to boot. So, yeah, without further ado, here we go. All right. Hey there, Akuma Matata. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, I apologize. I am trying to. I've been having a little sound difficulties. Was trying really hard to get things working before I even got started, because the audio and everything like that would get all jacked up, and then it'd be like the last time I tried to do a live stream. I did like half of the live stream for about the hour and a half without any audio. So, you know, trying to be at least a semi-professional, even though I'm an exceptional amateur at you know, trying to be able to do this stuff. So, yeah, thanks for joining me, buddy. I appreciate it. I appreciate anyone that joins me to, you know, watch me play some Star Wars. Yeah, you know, so I'm gonna just chill out, relax. You know, it's basically a chillaxing weekend, and you know, I basically, in order to relax after a really stressful week, is I like to blow up things in Star Wars. You know, and plus I'm trying to get up my gumption for the to get ready for the Star Wars Squadrons. Yeah, that game is gonna be really cool. Yeah, I've been watching that, and yeah, the trailers on that is pretty sweet. Yeah, definitely pretty sweet. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the action. I'm sure you guys are, you know, no one is really interested in like watching me, but anyhow. Yeah, thanks again to Akuma Matata 75. I really appreciate you joining in, and yeah, thank you so much. All right, here we go. I'm sure it was. Which Star Wars character is better than Han Solo or Dash Rendar? Oh, which one is better? Dash. You know what? That's a tough one. I mean, I'm not a softy for Han Solo. Han Solo is like the bomb. You know, Bashnikadi, however the people like to call it. But, you know, Dash Rendar has a wonderful place in my heart, because Dash Rendar was basically a one-off character that had a lot of character in it wasn't Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It was Shadow of the Empire. Yeah, Shadow of the Empire. And, you know, I will admit, I think Dash Rendar as a mercenary is more agile to combat, as to where Han Solo is probably a little bit more shadier, sneakier, and better as a rogue-like, you know, smuggler type of character, you know. So, you know, I'm gonna have to say it's kind of equal with both. I would honestly love to see a one-off face-to-face with them, you know, drawing with basically blasters, you know. So hold on one second. I guess while we are waiting, there's something messed up here. I don't know what the heck is that. Where did that come from? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to play. I apologize for whatever that boxing is on the screen, but so I don't know. Who do you think, Akuma Matata? Who is your supreme choice between the two? Or do you think they're kind of well balanced, and it would just kind of dice up to like a quick draw event between the two of them, you know, with a blaster? I mean, you know, I mean, I would say even with co-pilots, Dash Rendar, you know, has his robot, you know, that robot thing, which I honestly, the Han Solo movie and Lando Calrissian's co-pilot, that female robot co-pilot, reminded me a lot of her. It reminded me a lot of that of Dash Randar's co-pilot. If you've ever played the Nintendo 64 Shadows of the Empire game, I mean, you know, even though the N64 is kind of showing some age, and the game itself probably some age, it's a really fun game. It's a really fun game. Got a lot of good story to it. I would highly recommend it. So Harrison Ford's Han Solo is the overall winner, but Dash Rendar beats Solo from Solo. Okay, well, okay, yeah. There's a lot of hate for the Solo movie. I don't blame. I mean, I liked the those movies for what they were. The one-off Star Wars films, I'm gonna have to say, as compact stories, they're actually pretty good. I like them. They're usually a lot more fun to watch. The story's a little bit more, feels a little bit more like Star Wars, where the J.J. Abrams verse Star Wars, it just felt forced. I mean, no pun intended. It felt forced. Give me a sec here. I'm concentrating. But the Rogue One and the Solo, it lacked a little bit of desire. The disappointment for me really came from I grew up, and this of course shows my age. But I grew up with the books, the original Star Wars books, and they had some of the very first Star Wars expanded universe books there ever was the Han Solo trilogy, the original Han Solo trilogy, and it felt short of that. It felt very, very short of that. I would have liked that. I liked it started on Corellia. It would have been nice if it had actually started with his adventures more of. I guess he was older when he was having to deal with the corporate sector, the whole that other sector of universe. It's outside of it's its own government entity aside from the Empire. Outside of the Empire. That was a really cool concept, but it's just I understand it's a movie. And then of course you're dealing with the mouse, and the mouse does not want to pay out any money to anybody who has ideas that are better than what they can basically not have to pay for. So that tends to be the overall gist of it when you end up having to deal with Disney and them basically owning everyone's childhood at this point. I mean, it's between Abrams and Michael Bay as far as who's going to basically dissect everyone's childhood memories and make the most money out of it. So, but I will say, out of all the new stuff that content has come out, basically out of all 5 films and the one television series so far, Mandalorian is a hard win with me as far as Star Wars stories. And I'm going to have to honestly say that out of the cinematic universe so far, I think the movies were the one-off movies, the Star Wars stories, I guess if you will, were the better stories. I liked them better. It was nice having the cameos of Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill. And Mark Hamill, God bless him, he's awesome. And he really was trying really hard to not. He was trying to do as much as he possibly could to influence the franchise for the sake of the fans, because I think doing all the voiceover stuff he's done for DC and a lot of other stuff, I think he's gotten an appreciation for the fans and kind of really understands them. So, okay, so do you prefer the Dark Horse comics or the Marvel comics? Oh, well, I don't know. I have not actually read any of the comics in a long time. I did read the Dark Horse series, and the Marvel Comics stories tend to fall more into, again, what Disney wants in the universe itself, I think. They want it basically follows what they want for their franchise. So if I'm gonna have to say, I have been always a fan of the original expanded universe when Lucas had control of it, and I'm gonna say Dark Horse. I'm gonna say Dark Horse was better, simply because it was it was done by people who loved it. They were done by fans. And they really tried very, very hard to make sure it stayed true to whatever the vision was at the time with Lucas, and it just felt incredibly disappointing when Disney came in and just hacked it all up and basically said the extended universe is no longer official canon. It's basically whatever we say it is. Other than the original films, and that felt like kind of a betrayal, to be quite honest. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Die. Ah! No! No. Ah, I got isolated there. Ugh. Yeah. So I apologize, Akuma. I really enjoy having conversations, and you're welcome to throw out as many questions as you want, buddy. I will answer every single one of them whenever I'm able to get to them. But if you unfortunately are observing, I am kind of like stuck focusing because I am doing terribly. I've only got like 17. They've got a guy that's like 45. I'll be honest with you. In these, I usually average at this point, usually somewhere between 30 to 45. It's about the same. I'm usually in second place, but much higher as far as the kill count goes. So, I mainly because it's like there's a lot of people who are like super competitive about this game, about the kills and trying to get better than everybody else. I'm actually just trying to help everybody else out because I really like how they've done this with EA's. The EA has really ramped up the difficulty with the. Gosh dang it, this dude is really tough. Crud. EA's really ramped up the difficulty on the co-op mode, which is great because it really helps me practice a lot. And plus, it gives you an opportunity to amp up all your weapons since it's combat. It's your well, experience system is all combat based, so it's all based on how well you are. Well, BB-8 just committed suicide. Okay. It's basically on the number of kills you get, and so you've got to get that opportunity to be able to get those kills in, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's not easy, especially playing against other players to level up your character or weapons and items and things like that. And when you're playing in versus mode, unfortunately, you're dealing with what you're dealt and playing against a whole bunch of people that have basically been playing the game for the past 5 years. 4 years. I can't remember how long this game's been out. I think it's 3 years now, actually. But you've got these people who have spent this time playing this game for so long that they are, at this point, pros at it. 2, they've leveled up everything, everyone. I mean, the whole 9 yards. So you are at a serious disadvantage. And of course, you've got your cheaters. I mean, it's no matter what, and especially in the PC. On the PC console, you have less cheaters. Because it's harder to cheat on a console, but PC, without a doubt, you tend to get a lot more cheaters. You get a lot of people who are able to and especially when you got EA. I'll be honest with you, EA doesn't care about cheaters. They say they do, but they don't. I mean, there's people that I've seen that have literally, even YouTubers that literally cheat, and they're on YouTube for everyone to see, and they're never banned by EA. So. Let's see, the game reminds me of the Brecht play Caucasian Saga. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I totally remember, because it's like an invasion of Persians. That's really what the rebellion is. It's just an invasion of Persians. Here you've got of course. I mean, here you've got the Empire, trying to basically just bring law and order. I mean, sure, they don't have a Nivish Natala. What was her name? I don't know. Like, thank you, Akuma Matata. I have not actually thought about the Caucasian chalk circle in a very, 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 very long time. Man, how long has that been, dude? Has it been 30 years? No, we weren't that old. 20, at least 20, no. 25, no. 23 years? I think it was 23 years, maybe 24 years, something like that. Yeah, it's at least 23 years. No. Yeah. Because I think we were 18. We were 18 or 19. Like, since the 90s. I know, dude. I know. I have not thought about that in such a long time, to be quite honest. I mean, and it was a lot of fun. There was In fact, I still remember getting the one day that we got no notes from the director, and me running across there and giving not Nikita, Nikisha, giving Nikisha a high five. I remember that. 96 sounds about right. I entered college at the 95, and I believe that was like the second season that I participated in shows at the college, and yeah. So that's that would probably be the right amount of time. So I am playing with a if you're wondring why I'm so bad, I am actually it's easier for me to play this game with a controller on the PC than it is to play it with the keyboard, because you have to usually amp the keyboard up like super high to be able to have any like true maneuverability, and then when I do that I have zero control, and unfortunately I've tried very hard to try to get that kind of control down, and I've failed miserably many times. And unfortunately on the controller it has aim assist, and the problem is in this version, on console versions, you can turn off the aim assist, which is cool, but on this version, you can't do it. And that really sucks. Not because I don't like aim assist, but because it really screws things up, especially when I'm aiming. So, I'm curious, what is it that made you think of the Caucasian chalk circle, dude? You know, I would have thought you would have thought about the, what was it the Caucasian ovally egg-shaped thingy. I don't remember. It's, one of the Heckle and Jekyll productions, because I remember you participating in that, you virgin. But man, you brought back memories, dude. Serious memories, man. Oh my gosh, I want to cry because now I feel old. Now I feel old. You know, and of course now of course I still everybody else's life that has left from there. And to be honest, it's like a lot of people have moved on and had families, and that's all cool. Time goes on, time marches on, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying memories, but they're not living in them. So, okay. So, unfortunately, I found an unfortunate aspect of this game, which Boba Fett, take that, Mandalorian. I wish you were as cool as Mando. You're not. You're in the belly of a Sarlacc pit. Ah! So one of the unfortunate things I found was if I use this option, which gives me better accuracy and at being able to in a much higher firing rate, unfortunately the kills don't count towards my gun experience, which really kind of sucks, because I mean I would end up ramping up a ton of kills with this thing. I do. I mean there's sometimes I've ramped up kills like something like in the high 70s and hundreds, sometimes. And a lot of times I usually end up in the top, as number one. I mean, I was gonna say it's like the top four, but I mean, it doesn't quite work that way because there's only 4 other players. You're right about the Mandalorian being the best of it. It is, but I'm eager to see what the other shows. I heard it's kind of disappointing, and I think part of it is because the movies, maybe the movies didn't work out as well as they had hoped. But I've heard that they have changed the Obi-Wan solo movie that they were doing, or the one-off movie they were doing with Ewan McGregor, to a television series instead. Which I mean is cool. It's cool. I'm fine with that. But it was a little disappointing. I am very happy to hear that aside from Rosario Dawson's appearance as Ahsoka Tano, which again, another character I'm gonna have to say surprisingly has become a very beloved character, and rightly so. Well, I'm okay. I'm good at this game. I'm fairly okay at this game. Versus mode, I would get stomped. I would get stomped if I did not amp up all my characters beforehand. On the PlayStation 4 that I've got, which I mean that was the some of the YouTubes I've got come from basically my PlayStation 4. I've got pretty much everything mostly amped up, and so I do mostly versus mode, and I'll usually play in the on the capital ship supremacy game, which is fun. Oh wow! Holy cow! What the heck? What? Ah! No! Get back, Peter! No, dude! I am not Mufasa. I am not Mufasa. Akuma Matata, buddy. Akuma Matata. I'm okay at the game, but I am without a doubt definitely not on the level of some of these other YouTubers and whatnot. Now I'm actually not bad at I'm not bad at playing the Starfighter mode, and that's why I'm kind of psyched for the Star Wars Squadrons game coming out. One, because, well, I mean, it's Battlefront's been out for almost like 3 or 4 years, and so there's, you know, you Twitch and whatnot, then you're not going to get a lot of people really interested in watching it play. You know, you might, but with a new game like Squadrons, I might, you know, actually manage to get some new viewers, you know, and that'll be nice. But plus, it's a game that I really enjoy. These are the kind of games I kind of enjoy. But the piloting games I'm actually pretty good at, because it is much harder to cheat. There are things out there that some players use that are called aim. Well, it's like aim assist in a way, but they are kind of like auto targeters for their weapon. It's like some kind of like overlay that happens on what you're playing, and so it helps them aim much easier. And sometimes they're able to get shots that they really shouldn't be able to get. And so it makes playing versus mode on the computer kind of difficult, because sometimes someone will just nail you from like nowhere, and I really wish they would bring back. You know what? I really wish they would too. I really like that game, and I was always a fan of that game developer because of those games. And when they came out with Mass Effect rocked. It really did. I really enjoyed that game. Went off on her own for a while, you know, during, you know, after the Thrawn series. What was it? What was it called? What was the Heir to the Empire series? Yeah, it was the Heir to the Empire series. That's what it was called. But she definitely. Oh my God! I've got a regular stormtrooper. Crap. But now Disney negated. Well, kind of. I have heard rumors, and I've actually heard Mark Hamill has a part of it, because I think Mark Hamill actually has kind of gotten Disney to understand that they actually need to respect some of the canon. But I think they're only going to do stuff that they don't have to pay for, or at least don't have to pay a lot for. Or can buy outright. I think that's mainly what because regretfully a lot of the canon that is in Star Wars is fan base, and was not officially solicited, let's say, by Lucasfilm. So as far as royalties go and stuff like that, it technically is some of it is actually copyrighted. Pardon me, copyrighted and property of those characters' creators. I believe Timothy Zahn got. I believe Disney got into an arrangement, an agreement with Timothy Zahn for his Heir to the Empire characters, because they are technically more famous in the established fan base of the extended universe. And if that is truly the case, because they did Star Wars, the animated Star Wars Rebellion or whatever it was, which was okay. I liked it. But it was. Hold on, I am so sorry. I'm having to pay attention here. I do not like this map, because the camera gets all jacked up when it's behind bushes, and there's a lot of bushes. So
the rebels will attack these command posts next. Defend them.
But like I said, in the Rebellion series, Thrawn, they introduced Grand Admiral Thrawn. And if you know, I mean, he was in the Heir to the Empire series. So if they got into a deal with Timothy Zahn, Mara Jade might have come with it. Now, I don't know who did Shadows of the Empire, so I don't know if you would ever see Dash Rendar ever make it into the expanded universe. It would be nice. It would be nice if he did. But Mara Jade, like I said, it is possible that you might actually see Mara Jade enter into the existing Disney. I'm gonna call it the Mouseverse, or now I'll just call it the Disneyverse. We'll call it the Disneyverse, or the Schneiderverse, or no, it's not Zack Snyder. I cannot. I'm blanking. Lost. The guy, the former director of Lost. Okay, Leia, you need to die, girl. You need to die. I'll be honest with you, I'm extremely partial to her, though. I play her a lot. I play her a whole lot. Oh my gosh, she is stomping us. So Steve Perry was Shadows of the Empire. Steve Perry? The dude that sings with Foreigner? Or, Journey? I'm glad you didn't say Peter David. I have a sore spot for Peter David. He came and sat by me long before he ever came out with his Star Trek series, Star Trek New Frontier. I actually had an idea for it when I was younger, back in the days of our college youth. And I actually was writing a Star Trek book that I was going to try to see if I could option and maybe, but it was going to be separate from it was going to be in the Next Generation universe. It was going to be a different ship. It was going to be a ship called the Excalibur, and it was going to be a captain that was kind of a rogue, had a bad reputation with Starfleet and everything, but he was put in charge of this ship and everything like that. And I had drawings and everything. And this guy who sat down next to me was at a Star Trek convention and wanted to know what I was doing and talking, and then introduced himself as Peter David, and that he had written some Star Trek novels. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, here's this thing I'm doing. And now, of course, me being the procrastinator, I never really get fully to fully writing it like I should have in full completion. But one day I arrive at the bookstore, and there's a book called Star Trek New Frontier in a ship called a whole new ship called the called the Excalibur, and basically it was almost everything that I had basically written. So Man, this auto assist sucks because it's the problem is the problem with auto assist on the game is it tries to anticipate where the player's moving, but I can already tell where they're moving, and so it fights the cursor on me and keeps me from being able to move it to where it needs to go. So, but well, I mean, and you know, if I personally think the games or the books that Star Wars needs to one, they need to just make a deal with Timothy Zahn, because Timothy Zahn wrote some of the most iconic books for that in the expanded Star Wars universe. They do need to make a deal with R.A. Salvatore, as he was the one that created the new order. Was it called the New Order? He wrote a book called Vector Prime, which a lot of people hated or loved, because he killed Chewbacca. It was a whole new. He was the one that introduced these new aliens called the Yojin Vong, that wore, or actually they weren't. They didn't wear. They were kind of. If you remember those in the Heir to the Empire series. Oh, I got 3 people. Okay, well, cool. I don't know who the other person is, and I apologize, whoever you are. You're welcome to join the conversation. I'm actually having a conversation with Akuma Matata, and we're just kind of like reminiscing about Star Wars and other. I actually know Akuma Matata in person, so. But oh gosh, I cannot remember. Timothy Zahn created them. They allowed people to it negated the Force. They naturally had an ability to negate the Force or something like that. So but the Yojin Vong kind of had this ability too. They didn't negate the Force. They were just they weren't perceptible in the Force, which I always thought was weird, because if the Force itself was life, you know, just a permeation of life. Oh my God, this guy, for crying out loud! Die, Chewbacca! You hairy beast! You manimal! Die, you animal! No! Killed me. The Vong were a big part of Legacy. Thank you, Star Wars Legacy. Yeah, but you know, I have to say, and then whoever wrote the Children of the was it Children of the Empire or Children of the Jedi or the new Jedi? No, the new Jedi Order series. The one that had Kip Duron. It explained the origin of spice. Which that was a disappoint. And another thing that was kind of disappointing about the Solo movie was, you know, I mean, because the spice is the life, you know, just like Dune. You know, it came from the bungholes of insects. You know, it's, I mean, technically spice is worm poo in Dune, and in this one it was basically spider poo, space alien spider poo. And was the spice, but it was the way they described it was really cool though, because the spice glowed. It wasn't like a real spice. It was weird. It had a glow to it and everything. It was kind of cool. Oh, come on! Oh my gosh! Oh, I hate. Oh! Man, this thing is just making. No. No, I am not gonna get taken out here. I am not. You are not. Ah! Pardon me as I move my microphone away a little bit, so that way I do not completely deafen everybody who's nice enough to watch. So, you know, it's kind of weird because I mean I have no way of knowing who, unless you're subscribed to me or following me, I have no idea who's watching. In fact, I mean, I don't even know that. Akuma Matata, apparently you're watching me, but I have no idea that you're watching me. All it shows me is that I have 2 people watching me and that I'm live. So I'm just going with the flow.
Heads down, grenade out. Big guns ready.
Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Oh my God, look at this. Yeah, I apologize, but yeah, for again losing track of thought while we're in a conversation. But I was trying to pay attention to what I was doing. Ah, man, this is taking forever. Oh my gosh. I mean, we're probably gonna win. We might win. I hope. Ah! Took a shotgun to the face. No, I appreciate you checking in, on this run, dude. It was nice catching up with you, man. Like I said, I'm gonna hit you up on Facebook, and hopefully we'll get the chance to, yeah, hopefully we'll get a chance to really actually talk, dude. I really appreciate it, so thanks a bunch. Alright, you have a good night. Hey there, buddies. Thank you very much for joining me for that Let's Play. I appreciate it. Yeah, I live stream on Twitch, and I try to do some things on Facebook whenever I have a time to try to do something on Facebook. But I try to do something a little bit different on each social media platform. But on Twitch, I basically play Star Wars every once in a while, and when Star Wars Squadrons comes out, I'll be playing it on that, live streaming it about maybe a couple hours. Probably every Saturday, and on the Wednesdays, I'm gonna try to do Way Back Wednesdays. Yeah, so where I basically live stream me playing some retro games, some old games. Not always retro. Some of them are gonna be just slightly older, like a decade or so. But yeah, I think I'll be Way Back Wednesdays. In fact, I'm gonna be posting one up here on YouTube soon enough, where I'm gonna be playing a Castlevania Hell's Lullaby, which is a fan-based, fan-made retro Castlevania game, which is really good. So, anyways, look for that. All right, till next time, guys, like and subscribe, hit that bell icon, and bye-bye, buddies.